East Coast, they get that bread. You you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spread.
Opened back in 2003. Have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. And this defense for the Jags, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
From the 24, Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders to about the 40-yard line. The Eagles at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. 4 yards remain for 2nd down. On the draw, here's Sanders. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon. And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play with one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A man coming off a washout 2021. It's Travis Etienne. Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Now Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Lawrence. And it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Up the middle, here's Sermon. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
60 Eagles!
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And he is close to a 1st down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 36. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down at about the length of the football. And they'll try and run for the first with Sermon. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, that was big right there because they're the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Hurts to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And the Eagles are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle made at the 10-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
19, let's go.
On 1st down, Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Sermon will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. They go I formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead grows to 10-0. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, 1st quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Lawrence will throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
A Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit with play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This is Smith with the ground. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. They go play action with Hurts. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking deep downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football.
So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jaguars with work to do. They trail here as we are back underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. We'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Trying for Kirk, and he's got him on the crossing route.
And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
This all the way out past the 20. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A big pickup of 38.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Andre Cisco there on the stop. On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Trey Sermon, his 1st rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is now 24. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now. Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw taken in by Ridley here. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react. Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 2nd down, a run with Etienne. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He's got a man complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that zeal. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, Etienne once more. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now Lawrence. That's complete right around the 8.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Come on, set.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Eagles defense able to hold. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Play action. Here's Hurts. Flushed out right. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th. Here's Brett Kern now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. On the return, here's Agnew. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They go play action with Lawrence. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Devon Hamilton with the tackle.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Jags are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can...
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession as they got it at the 42-yard line. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
That one looks like he'll throw here, being chased out left. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.